Now the rum is pumping. Good atmosphere. Shayz on the mic, yeah, she beat me here. She's in the booth, which is all soundproof, and you can surmise its lyrics and lies. See, I had all that wrapped up. That's freestyling right there. That's off the top of the head. What's up? This is Money Green. I'm here with
Shayz on the mic.
And we are Lyrics and Lies, coming through your stereo speaker, your computer speaker, your laptop speaker, your telephone, doing it to you in your eardrums.
Hey.
Yeah, and I'm gonna put my Billy D. Williams voice on people. My non-gender fluid voice.
I knew you was gonna bring that up. That's why I paused.
Yeah. You know all that stuff is phony, right?
Yes.
And once stuff gets out there, people take it and run with it.
Don't they?
For a fact. Billy D say he ain't bending over for no man, and he not running up in any man. He said he's not gay. But anyway, let's get into this movie. We're not going to talk about Empire Strikes Back. We're not going to talk about Mahogany. We're not going to talk about Lady Sings the Blues. No more Billy D. We're going to talk about
American Son.
All right, that's cool. That's cool.
Now, this is the show that's on Netflix.
Right.
With Kerry Washington.
Right.
She's starring in it and she's producing it.
Yes, she is. Miss Scandal herself.
She's, she actually did this on Broadway first. It started off as a play.
Yes.
At first, this is a play that started off first, and then they wanted to bring it to the Netflix screen.
And she produced it.
And she produced it, and she had a little bit of help from some friends.
Like who?
Gabrielle Union and her husband.
Helped her with this?
Yes.
Dwayne Wade?
Yes.
For real?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
And Jada Pinkett.
I had no idea.
Yeah, she spoke about this on another show when she got interviewed, that she had a few people helping her out.
Help her with what?
With the production, getting people together, getting this whole thing.
She didn't need help with this.
Well, we'll get into all that, into your feelings and your views on it.
I don't think she needed all that help. I think she could use some support.
I think it was help and support, maybe money wise.
She didn't need
some
help.
of those people
She didn't need
produced
that.
her.
She didn't need no help with no money with this.
Hey, I don't know.
I'm all up in the financials of this production. But when it first came out, I was on social media and I saw a lot of posts. Some people saying it was stupid. Some people saying it was dumb. Some people saying it put them to sleep. Some people kept saying the ending, this, blah, 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 blah. Some people say it was a waste of time and all this kind of stuff. So it really made me wonder what I was going to see when you suggested we watch it. So I checked it out. I obeyed your instructions. Unlike Tavion, you better obey.
Thank you.
And I enjoyed it, but I like stage plays. So when you said it was on Broadway, that makes perfect sense, because this is pretty much a one scene stage production put into movies, almost like Fences. Fences had a few extras, a few more scenes than American Son, but I overall enjoyed what I saw. But I'm a stage person, and you definitely can't listen to what people tell you about something. You should see things for yourself. So I'm glad I didn't take the opinions of all those people who said it was terrible and it was a waste of an hour and a half of their time. I'm glad I didn't take that into a lot of consideration. Plus I had my homework, so whether I wanted to see it or not, Shayz gave me the homework, so I had to do that.
And that's right. And anything that comes out that we make, we need to take the time to watch it and see it and support it.
Yes, we did that.
So when I watched it, at first it was very slow, and as you looked at it, you can tell it was something that should have stayed on the stage. I liked it.
Oh my goodness!
You could tell it was, like you said, you're a stage person, so you could tell it was for the stage.
Yeah, but you banging on it. You said it should have stayed on the stage.
Some parts of it, and the reason why I looked at it, because somebody else suggested it to me, and American Son, I kind of wanted to get an idea of what this meant in the context of American Son.
Right. And you have a son.
And I have a son.
In America.
Mm-hmm. Some parts of it I didn't care for, because I think, you know how those movies that we look at, how it show it starts in the middle, but then it goes back,
right,
and shows you some things that happened prior, so you can kind of get an understanding of what the reason why we're here and the reason why this movie,
yes,
the way it's going. I think that it should have been a little bit more flashbacks of that, because you're trying to get an understanding of the son and the husband and the wife, and certain things in that movie to me didn't seem realistic.
Like
I don't want to give it out because you know me, I'm the
okay.
spoiler
Well,
alert.
I was about to compliment you and say that you haven't given any spoilers within the first 5 minutes. I was going to compliment you on that. So it's funny that you bring that up. But if you say there was something lacking, I don't think that would be a spoiler. You could just say the situation or something.
It was a situation with the policing and her.
In the beginning?
In the aspects through the movie.
Okay.
To me, didn't seem realistic.
Okay. All right. Yes, you can say it wasn't realistic, but there's a twist to that. It wasn't supposed to be a realistic. Okay, let's say it's 80% realistic. Is that fair? 75, 80% realistic?
Okay.
All right. So their interaction may have only been 75, 80% realistic, but it was supposed to be the realism between the parent or a black mother or black parent and the police force or the police who are in charge of her son's safety once the son steps out of the door. That's what they were highlighting. So it was less about how things would really go in the police station, and it was more about the interaction between parents and police, because the police station was dimly lit, and it, certain things didn't quite look like that was them doing that thing, because the importance was those two going back and forth.
And I got that.
All right.
I got that. Excuse me.
So all the other stuff was blocked out. Is supposed to be just that.
There was a lot of exaggeration in
No,
there.
I don't think it was exaggeration. I think it was allowing the policeman to bring his personal feelings, not his police and professional feelings, to bring his personal feelings to the parent. Just so we as the viewers would know, as opposed to him being shown in street clothes at a bar with other policemen talking.
And I think that's what I'm not speaking about when it comes to exaggeration. There was a going back and forth with the parent and the police officer that would not regularly happen in some parts of that film. There's certain parts, if you don't have all the information, you're not going to keep going back saying, let me see what else I can do. After a while, if I told you somebody is coming, you're going to wait for that person to come. It was a lot of stuff that I know that wouldn't go back and forth, that to me was a little bit more exaggerated than what would really happen. And I understand there were symbolisms in that movie to show us the parent and the police officer, and then we transitioned in the two parents, right, and then we transition into the interaction with the second parent with the police officer, because now, oh my gosh, this is a nuance of this person, because there was a perception from the police to the father,
right? Because
at the time I didn't know that was the father.
You didn't either?
Oh yeah, I did. But I'm talking about the police officer. So
you're talking about the policeman going back and forth relaying information.
Correct.
So that was, that was to buy time for the film.
Well, and my point is,
because the storyline had to play out.
Right, the storyline had to play out, and I looked at the whole movie to get an understanding of where this is going, right? But if you want to interpret American Son, and you want to portray a part of each person in their place, the parent, the police officer, the detective, you still have to have some realistic things going on in the movie that to me was not realistic.
All right.
And I get that there's symbolism, but there were some parts that was like, and I'm a black parent, so and a mother, so I understood her plight and where she was going. But there were certain things that wouldn't happen. That's all I'm saying, because I don't want to spoil it. I'm really doing really good.
Okay.
Not to spoil the movie, because I'm not sure if our listeners or everybody has seen the movie.
That's right.
I'm not sure if the father was in the play, because I didn't get a chance to see the play. I know Kerry watched.
I would think he would be. I would think it was a 4-person play, just like the movie, 4 people.
Well, to me,
And a bird.
in the rain.
4 people in the, well, the rain didn't count.
The rain.
But 4 people in the bird. They just had sound effects. That's not a person. That's a different thing.
I didn't think his acting was that great.
The husbands?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so I wasn't impressed with his acting. I never seen him before. This is the first time I ever seen him.
Well, he was having a hard time trying to get into his head that he loved a black woman. Yeah, wait a minute. I married a black woman? Oh boy. Okay. Let's try this again. Take 2. Okay. I really love this black woman. I had a child with a black woman? Oh. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. Take 3. Okay.
What did you think? What was your take on his acting? What did you think?
I figured that he was trying to act like he liked a black woman while he was trying to be that character at the same time.
Yeah, but the thing is that
never touched a black woman in his life, thank goodness.
You have to, if you're going to play this part, it has to be believable.
We're past Kerry Washington's test.
Maybe they felt like they didn't want to get nobody else. I don't know. But I really I didn't feel the connection that you should have from a father as something is going on with their son. I've seen.
Now, hold on. Yeah, I like that part right there. I like that part. What if the connection was a disconnect because his son was black?
And that's what I felt. I felt that, but
now that's realistic. Now
that is realistic.
So that could be acting.
That could be acting, but from his acting, like this is his boy. They've talked. This is what I've told him. Me and him has conversations. Like y'all cool. Like everything is good.
Mm-hmm.
This is the relationship that you're portraying or that you're telling the mother.
Right.
I didn't feel that it was real. I didn't feel like, oh, he really cares about his son. If I had came into the middle of the movie, I probably wouldn't have thought that was his son. If I had came in on the movie in the middle, I'd probably be like, what's his counselor?
That's a counselor.
Is this his counselor? Uncle. It's like, I don't know, but I think that, I don't think his acting was believable.
Unless it was about him having a black son. But if the son came out looking more white or came out looking white, then that would make someone think.
But we don't know because we didn't see what the boy looked like. So we don't know.
He had cornrows, so we know how he looked.
He could have had nice hair for cornrows.
Black, tall black cornrows. They pretty much described him as not looking white. They said everything. They said all the keywords, all the trigger words that made you say he's black. He's of a darker hue, a much darker hue. Not my hue, maybe your hue. But you said keep it to the stage. But I think the good part about bringing this to the movies, especially Netflix, is you can talk about all these topics without someone having to go to the theater, because I never heard of it before it hit Netflix. And you have major issues. Like it talked about the major thing between black kids. When black kids leave the house, how much danger they're in. And you think the danger is going to be from cops when they get pulled over. Anytime a black kid leaves. mainly boys, and they leave in the car, you're thinking that they're going to get pulled over. And how are they going to be with the cops? Is a cop going to overreact? Make sure your hands is on 10 and 2. Make sure you look forward. Make sure you always use your signal. Make sure you do this. All the things that parents try to tell their sons, black parents tell their sons, to avoid coming up on a policeman's radar so they won't have to have that altercation. Sometimes it can be peaceful. Sometimes it can be rough. But I think that's what this was about. And at the same time, you have the interracial aspect of how do they deal with a child, and then you have the divorce thing. I would think that was third. So you had different themes going on.
Well, yeah,
so I appreciate it.
It's a lot to put up with or think about when you're first of all, when you're in a relationship that's different, and then from that relationship a baby comes out of it. Then you think about later as the child gets older that there are going to be some issues that's potentially because, like you said, his skin color was a little darker because, you know, he's mixed, but you don't see mixed when you roll up on him.
Right.
So then now you have to figure out how to bring up this mixed child, and you got two different people and two different perspectives and two different backgrounds trying to raise this boy in a certain way from what they know.
Right. So you would have started there. So they basically brought the child up in a 99% white school.
Correct.
Which means his black child, and I think he is one of 4 black kids. He's one of 3 or 4 total black kids in that school. So you have all white kids or with a little bit of Hispanic or Latino, Asian or something mixed in there. But white dominated school, so white had to be over 90%. That child is going to have to assimilate. But eventually, that child is going to wake up and realize that he's black or that he's different from them and that he's being treated from them. And as Paul Mooney always said, he gets his N-word wake-up call. And she brought that up when she said he realized he's black after a while. And that, of course, came from being treated differently. So that's something that interracial relationships had to consider before procreating.
Correct.
They had to consider how they're going to raise a child, what would a child be up against, and how would they feel about a child. Because I've always loved having the discussion of white men. We're not talking about all. We're not getting monolithic. So anybody who's doing that, y'all can shut up from the gate. But white men, in general, can have sex with the black woman. Some will go as far as dating and marrying a black woman. But many of them resent or hate black men. So if you go as far as to date a black woman or have sex with a black woman, that means you don't like a certain aspect of her. But there's certain things you do like about her. And vagina is always a motivator for many men. But if you do procreate with this woman, whether you marry her or not, how would the child be raised? And if it's a boy or male, then how would you feel toward that male if you don't like black men? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So if a white man doesn't like black men, but I'll mess with a black woman or I'll have sex with a black woman, and we have a son and he comes out black or having black features, so he's black. If you don't like black men, you're not going to like your black child. You can try to love your seed or your offspring, but you don't like who he is. You don't like the shell he's in, or you don't like the package. But you're going to try your best to do what you can. And this is for white men who don't love or don't like black men. We're talking about those. Because, of course, some white guys, they like cool, so you ain't got to worry about that. But some of you have like Dog the Bounty Hunter, Hulk Hogan. You heard the racist things they said about black men if their daughters were to ever date a black man and things like that. So that's what I immediately thought about when he and the mother were having issues, and how he wasn't he and his son weren't on the same level mentally. They weren't on the same wavelength. The communication was way off. It was a breakdown. And that's because he couldn't fully, understand what his son was going through.
Or wasn't trying to.
And why wouldn't he try to?
And it could go back to what you were saying.
Yeah, I mean, after a while, you don't care, because he called his own son a thug at one point, or looking like a thug.
Looking like a thug. I don't know why he did that in the first place. So, I mean, that's a lot to consider and to think about.
I mean, that's deep.
I'm not sure if American Son is a good name for it, but I guess it thinks
for the movie.
I think it overall makes you think about your son's period, and I guess American Son meaning
black son,
mm-hmm. period. In the point of the things you have to deal with. Now, it was a surprise because I had never seen a play either. Mm-hmm. That when the husband came in, that it was going to be a white man, and then I was like, oh, okay, the dynamics changed in this.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, so now this is a whole different mm-hmm. situation. Mm-hmm. If you just hear the American Son, you're like, okay, I know Kerry Washington is going to be in it because somebody told me. And when you start watching it and you see, oh, okay, yeah, I want to see how he's going to handle this. How is he really going to handle it? Yeah, he's showing some aggressive because it's his son, but it kind of still went back to, like I told you, to me, I wasn't sold on him.
Right.
Let's
get past that.
Yeah, we get past that, and then I still wasn't sold on it, y'all. But he also was playing up for her, too. Because it concerned her about what's going on. Yeah, he cared about it, but I need to be here for her. And then it dived into their relationship and where their relationship was going. And then she started feeling certain ways about, let me think about how our relationship is.
It's okay, so I look at that differently.
Okay.
The second part, yes, about the relationship. But the first part, you said he was playing up to her.
I felt that he was playing up to her because of how deeply she felt about what is going on with my son. But I need to know.
So that goes back to black parents, mainly black women. Black men have the same fear, but black women, of course, going to feel on a different level,
and
on a higher level.
He doesn't know about that.
That's why I was going with it.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to. So when I'm saying playing up,
I got you. Okay. I'm just going to bring up the point that it could be simply her carrying on a much higher level than any parent can, other than a black parent, when it comes to her son being safe driving the car and then find out he's pulled over by the police. Whereas the white father, is thinking, oh, well, it's just a police stop. Get pulled over by police that's no big deal. I mean, as long as he's not breaking the law, he should be fine. And that's the dichotomy between black people being pulled over and how white people look at the police also. So you got the experience, the perception, the realistic perception, then you have how other people have their experiences with the police. And him being a policeman, that adds another dynamic. He didn't even have to be a policeman as far as the story went. He didn't have to be. But that could play a extra part in how the police treated him once that was found out. But that didn't need to be in there. That's something that could have been thrown out with the writing. But the husband simply could not feel on her level because he didn't see any threat there. Where I feel a threat every time I get in my car. Mm-hmm. And I don't like police being behind me. I don't like being around police.
Me either.
So I remember one time I was out on a date and a police got behind me and I looked at her, I'm like, shh. And she said, what? I said, yeah, police behind us. She said, what you scared for? You little punk ass. And I looked at her and I ain't say nothing. But many of our experiences from kids and then teenagers with the police play a major role. And this is before you get into the Rodney King, Trayvon Martin, and all this kind of stuff. our minds are so scarred by many of the things we went through. And so I've had, I've witnessed a police murder somebody. I've had police guns put on me. I had 4 police guns on me. And that means one false move, any one of those 4 could have been like, that movement didn't look right, and let that trigger go.
Yeah.
So I don't like being around them. I don't like driving in front of them. If I can avoid it, I'm going to change lanes and let you by. You know what I'm saying? Some people might be like, they can go around me. Nope. I don't want any parts of them. Y'all go y'all merry way, leave me alone.
I feel the same way.
I understand what the parents go through, and I don't have a child that can drive yet. But I know all this is going to come into play when my child gets much older. I think I have a long amount of time before any of this happens.
The years go by fast.
Yeah, they
go by really fast, and you have to have the conversation, and unfortunately you have to have it early, about what could happen, potentially that could happen when you get pulled over.
Well, one thing as far as the movie goes, I really don't like when movies or TV shows give police an out or multiple outs when police do something that's illegal or far left or something like that. So in this case, he talked about how his son had a bumper sticker that could really get on the policeman's nerves. Then you got the drug aspect that can get on the policeman's nerves. Then you got multiple people in the car. So I hate when they pack all those things up, they give the policeman an out. I like when it could be something small that a policeman can misinterpret, or it doesn't have to be anything, and the police can just cut up. But don't pile all these things up, because it always makes it seem like it's more coal on the fire or more gas in the fire to give police, reasons for what they do when they do something bad or they do something illegal. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh yeah, well they did A, B, C, and D. So yeah, what you think? Sometimes things happen. But nah, these police out here cut up for no reason. Sometimes a lot of these people are getting shot for 0 reason.
Correct.
Hands in the air, no weapons or anything, and they end up being shot or strangled or whatever. So yeah, just keep it real. Don't pile this stuff up. And then try to say about his hands being on the car and it was raining and all that kind of, nah. Keep it straight with me.
Yeah, too much. Well, overall, what was your star points? Your star.
So what did we do? I forgot what we did last time. Did we do out of 100?
No, we
how many stars out of 100? 5. Yeah. So how many? Oh, okay. This was, since I like stage productions, this wasn't in the format of a stage production. Everybody, this was actually on the, you had a real setting and everything, but as far as the dialogue and how many sets they had, it was more like a stage production. I would give this, the movie itself, I probably give an 8 or an 8.5, maybe 4 stars, 4.5 stars. But the themes within it, it would get a 5 stars, because these are themes that need to be talked about over and over again. It's sad that they had to be talked about so often, but they're very important because these police aren't getting things right. So.
Okay, so now we're doing within the movie and stuff instead of just the overall movie.
Overall,
so
I gave it 4.
It's okay. I'm going to break it down like you broke it down.
4 and 4.5.
So the overall, the overall movie to me, I'll say it was a 3.5.
3.5, okay. That's like a 70%.
So the breakdown of, the points that it brought out that you said, I will give it a 4 on that, because those are, those are things that need to be talked about and need to be addressed.
We left out a few. We have when a biracial child hates the parent that he doesn't identify with racially. You know what I'm saying? So that's.
I mean, that's all into the points that you just.
Right now, I'm just bringing out different things. How whites are allowed to openly express themselves publicly.
That's
Be
privilege.
it bumper stickers or things in their windows, whatever, or flags on their cars. But when black people do it, it's looked at, as a threat. Or it's just they may just try to shut it down. And how the black lieutenant, I don't know if he was a captain or a lieutenant, but the black head honcho came and he put the law down on everybody. So we left that out, but overall, the black lieutenant.
We didn't want to get too much in the weeds either, because
we not.
As Shayz, I think I did very well this time with not giving out a whole bunch of spoiler alerts.
We're not gonna spoil it.
I was trying to keep it pretty safe.
But you have where black people must conduct themselves a certain way in a white dominant society.
Correct.
So that's another philosophy. So there's different things looming in here that I think are good for discussions.
Yes.
So
I agree.
Is it the most exciting movie? No, by far it's not that.
Not.
But if it's an intellectual movie that brings out social themes that need to be spoken about.
Correct. I agree with that. With that. So yeah, it would get 4 from me. As you broke it down into the different sections, I will give it a 4.
All right, but you hard on a pimp, on a prostitute too. So we know how you hard on a hoe. You don't play any kind of these movies. So that's it for Lyrics and Lies. We getting real serious on y'all. We've been serious a lot lately. We gotta get into something a little more fun, because all this serious stuff, people
it's just so much seriousness going out here that we need to address to our listeners.
Yeah, people start thinking I'm real sensitive and stuff, and I'm far from sensitive.
I don't know about that. They might not think too much of that.
Well, the ladies that know, they know I'm sensitive to their needs and their wants.
Well, anyway, as always, we want y'all to.
And they can feel it when I hug them.
Oh God!
They feel
we're about to cut this off. Right?
Feel the warmth and compassion within my soul.
We're about to cut this off, everybody.
That oozes from my.
But thank you for listening
every
to our Lyrics and Lies. Please
every part of
share,
me.
like,
hey, baby,
and comment.
You hear about that Billy D. Williams?
And we out.